Alrighty, everyone, welcome to YPN Hot Seat. My name is Corey Whedon, mortgage lender with First Premier Bank, member of the YPN Steering Committee, and co-chair of the YPN Membership Committee. Each week, we bring you one of your fellow YPN members so that you can learn more about other members and tips or tricks to their success in business and life. Thank you so much for spending time with us. As you know, you can watch us live on YouTube or Facebook every Friday at 12 noon. Remember, you can ask any questions while we are live, and we will make sure to get those asked while we have Tracey here with us. Otherwise, feel free to leave comments below and hit that like and subscribe button now. Tracey, I am super excited to get to know a bit more about you and hear your story. But before we get into all that, why don't you start by telling all of us who you are, where you work, and what you do for a living?
Alrighty. Well, my name is Tracey, and I work at Align Business Development. And what we do here is we have online courses for bookkeeping. So for smaller or startup businesses that might not necessarily have the budget or the complexities to go out and hire out for bookkeeping services. We're going to teach them the basics and how to keep their books straight so that as they grow and flourish, and then they do eventually have to go out and hire somebody or take their books to a company to keep them for them, they're in order and they're straight and they don't have to spend months keeping, fixing them for them. So we're going to teach people that basic knowledge so that they then they don't have to worry about, they can worry about the business that they're starting and their passion and not have to worry so much about, oh my gosh, am I doing this wrong?
Yeah, absolutely. And it is such an important part of the business that I think a lot of people don't really realize when they're starting their business how big the bookkeeping is. And that's, you're going to make it or break it based on your bookkeeping from a lot of stuff that I see. So you guys are specifically offering the opportunity to learn. You guys aren't offering the service of doing the bookkeeping for them, are you?
No, not with Align, no. So what we're basically doing is teaching them, like, this is how you handle the basic books of like a small or a startup business, and then eventually, like, referring out if you do need to hire a bookkeeper because you have grown or because you have become a more complex business.
Cool. And how long have you guys been around as a business?
Well, we just relaunched basically this year, so.
Okay, good. And what is your specific position over there?
I'm not a math person per se, so yeah. I'm doing marketing.
Okay. Marketing, so you have a fun job.
What?
You have a really fun but really, really hard job of doing all of that.
Yeah, because like you said, people don't realize like what kind of work goes into like keeping the books and stuff. And like as I've been learning it, I'm like, wow, this is a lot more complex than I thought it would have been.
Absolutely. Where are you guys located?
We're over on Cliff Avenue.
Okay. So you guys have your own little office over on Cliff.
We're actually I'm in the same building as Premier Bookkeeping.
Okay. Cool. And how did you end up becoming marketing for them? What is your history? How did you get to where you are now?
Actually, I found the job opening. I had been working at Volunteers of America, and I'd been doing like community engagement and marketing. And the position that I had been in, the grant got eliminated. So the thing that I really liked about this business was the opportunity to grow with it, and to learn new skills, because I don't know that much about bookkeeping, but I'm always up for learning new things and helping to grow that knowledge and help the business grow as well.
Absolutely. But you do know marketing, so that definitely helps. So a lot of questions that somebody would have for a marketer basically comes down to, what is a typical day like for you? What are you out doing every day on a day-to-day basis? What are you in the office doing and outside?
I think especially with something like new like this is like bumping up like the social media presence and just brand awareness. So doing a lot of design work or internet work, or basically looking for the best avenues to advertise and get your brand out there.
Yeah. So for social media awareness, where can we follow you guys? And I know we're going to touch base on this at the end as well. So that you can put it on there again. And Holly will throw it up as a banner for us near the end. But what should we be following to really engage with you on that?
Okay, so we have a Facebook page. It's Align Business Development.
Okay.
You can follow us on there. We also have started the Instagram stuff. Everybody's good with that. Our webpage is we're offering our classes through a site called Kajabi right now. So
I've heard of that one.
No.
Personally, I don't know many of those websites, so don't be surprised. Cool.
Yeah, follow me on there. We have a LinkedIn page too, so if you want to follow that, we'll be posting some of our updates on there too.
Awesome. And do you guys just focus on the Sioux Falls area? I'm guessing you can kind of offer these classes and expand that a lot further and broader than just Sioux Falls, can't you?
Yeah. I mean, since we're doing it as an online course, we can kind of expand and kind of fudge with like where we want to go with it. So that's kind of cool.
Okay, cool. So anybody watching this, because we do post these on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook, and so many people are seeing this other than just our Facebook group of YPN. So anybody can reach out to you and kind of ask you questions, see how they can maybe take advantage of your services, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Come check us out.
Cool. So when you're having the typical marketing day, what is the best part of your day when you just sit there and say, you know what, this is why I do this job?
I think like just engaging with other people and being able to hear like success stories or customer stories, like that's probably one of the things that really like motivates me, saying that I found this service because of you, and because of that, like I was successful. So like hearing that makes me motivated.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you guys hear that quite a bit because it is such an important part of the business. And like I said at the beginning, you either make it or break it based on your books. So you out there representing that there is a service to teach one of the most basic parts of business and most important parts of business. You guys are there to help. So that's super awesome. What would you say, kind of on the flip side of that, what is the hardest part of your day that you run into?
I think just sometimes you just get stumped with an issue and like, I don't know where to go with this or what's the best way to reach people with it. Like every once in a while, you're just like, I don't even know where to look at it. But usually if I take a break and think about it for a bit, like come back with a fresh mind and I'm like, okay, now I've got some ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the coolest things about YPN is, there's other people in different but similar positions that we can always reach out to and kind of ask. And so if anybody's listening to this, you're not the only one probably running into this issue. Reach out to Tracey and just be like, hey, I'm kind of stumped on this. What have you done? Can we just run some ideas back and forth and all that kind of stuff? That's one of the cool things that we have in our large but small community of Sioux Falls and of YPN. So that is kind of a struggle part. Where do you reach, or where do you go to find that inspiration to really get you to that next level, whether it's marketing? Because I've done some marketing stuff before, and one of the hardest things is being creative and coming up with something new, fresh, something that's going to take your business to the next level or really get out there and talk to the next person. How do you find the inspiration for that?
I think a lot of things just from like everyday life, like situations that I've been in that like, if only I had this service at the time that I needed it, and like, oh yeah, I should probably maybe write that down and think, I could create an ad out of this situation or this scenario, or even looking at current ads for something similar and going, you know what, I could do this better by doing this, or it just kind of depends.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy when something all of a sudden hits you when you would never expect it to hit you, and you're like, oh, I can actually use that.
It's just remembering and writing down, or just remembering it and not like forgetting it 5 minutes later.
Absolutely. So it sounds like one of your passions, based on kind of getting to know you in your business part of your life, but outside of work, it sounds like you're passionate about people. What do you do for fun? What kind of hobbies do you have?
Oh, well, I do a bit of photography on the side, so that's kind of my like I do hobby photography. I don't really do it as a business or anything right now. But I've started a new workout program, so been doing that for a few months now.
Okay.
Just trying to get back in shape. So that's kind of turned into a little bit of a hobby, I think. But
Yeah. What program are you doing?
I'm going to the Fit Body boot camp down over in.
Yep. They're pretty popular. So anybody out there doing Fit Body, team up, head over there. So photography, I'm guessing you don't just use your phone?
No. I have a digital SLR.
SLR?
I mean, the phone's great for certain situations, but you just can't get the same effects with it.
Absolutely. Is there, for anybody that's out there that's kind of in that hobbyish area of photography, what are some good programs that you use that you kind of, it's your favorite program to go to really edit everything?
I mean, like Photoshop's always been kind of the end all be all of like photo editing software, but there are some free ones online that are like decent. So, and if you're just looking to like do a couple of simple things with it, like you can totally do it. Like I think it's PIXLR or something like that. Pixlr is a decent online free one. I don't want to like do too many advertisements for free. Like
yeah, absolutely. I know nothing. I use my iPhone. That's as far as my photography skills go, which I'm sure my wife wishes that it was a little bit more in depth. So I don't know. It is what it is. But when you're out there taking pictures, what really captures your eye? Is it people? Is it nature? Is it?
I think
you take pictures of?
I do. I enjoy like the nature pictures, and I've gone a couple of times over to like the west side of the state and hit up some like ghost town type of things. So like the abandoned buildings, ghosts, like old cars, that kind of stuff has always been like really interesting photo material for me. But I mean, animals, nature, wildlife, I'm pretty open to whatever.
Yeah, you just dabble.
I dabble.
Yep, absolutely. That's super cool. Is there a place that people can kind of see some of the pictures that you've taken? Or do you kind of pose to yourself?
I mean, I have some posted on like my social media and stuff. I don't have a site or anything right now, but I mean, if you really want to see my stuff, you can just ask me. I'm fine with it.
That's super cool. So at any of the YPN events, if you want that little icebreaker, gonna go ask for some. Check them out. So are you originally from Sioux Falls?
I'm not. I actually grew up in Columbus, Nebraska, and I went to college in Sioux City, Iowa, actually, and then I keep migrating north, and I've kind of settled in Sioux Falls now. So,
how long have you been in Sioux Falls then?
Close to 6 years, 5 or 6 years now.
Okay, so definitely kind of the place you call home, not too
right
far
now,
from home, but yeah, absolutely, that's super cool. What brought you to Sioux Falls?
I think I was just looking for different opportunities and kind of looking for something a little bit like bigger and friendlier, and I think Sioux Falls kind of hit that. Like it was like a sweet spot mark for me, as far as like the size of it and the people that I had met there and the job opportunities and stuff that are up here. I think that's what really kind of pulled me to make the move another hour north.
Yeah, and it's just been golden ever since, right?
Totally golden.
When you came to the community, how did you get started in meeting people? Was it through work? Was it through joining the YPN? Was it joining something else that you kind of really enjoyed, that really kind of said, you know what, I'm becoming somebody here. I'm getting to know people here, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, actually, it's been a couple of different things. Like the YPN's been a big part of it because I joined that pretty early on when I moved here. I just wanted to get involved with the community and meet more people in my age range. Excuse me. But I also have gotten involved with a couple of like networking groups for, women and young professionals. And then I actually moved here during the campaign season or campaign year, or presidential election year. So I got involved with some campaigning, and that's how I met a lot of the people that I know here too. So
That's cool. How was coming up? Did you have campaigning experience beforehand?
not a lot, no.
Okay.
It was just mostly I just emailed somebody in charge of the party and said, hey, I want to get involved. What do I do? And it was basically I showed up to a event that I found on Meetup, and then we kind of built it out from there. There was 2 of us that showed up that day, and then we kind of expanded it and kept going and kind of grew it. So
that's neat.
yeah.
I don't know what Meetup is. I guess I'm getting too old. But what is Meetup for people out there that don't know what it is?
Oh, it must be an old people thing or something. But it's basically like you can join different groups. Like what the one I joined was like specifically for that political affiliation or whatever, and then you could join like the runners group or whatever, and they would just schedule meetups basically, like we're going to meet at this time and run from this point or whatever.
Okay, interesting. It's definitely something worth checking out, would you say?
I don't know how viable it is right now at this point.
Okay.
I haven't been on there for a while, so I can't say.
I wonder how active it is right now compared to where it was then. Okay, so that's super cool. So you got kind of involved in YPN. You've been in YPN for how long now?
Probably pretty close to 4 or 5 years, maybe.
Okay, yeah, you've been here for quite a while. That's awesome. So would you say that you've seen YPN kind of shift in those 5 or 6 years, or is it still kind of where it was at that time?
I mean, I definitely see a shift in it, and I know that part of it's like YPN itself, and part of it's like been my ability to get involved and kind of breaking out of my comfort zone and getting involved in more things. But just the events and stuff that YPN has been that they've hosted, and the professional development that they've been really working with people on, I do see like a higher standard that YPN has kind of come into in the last couple of years.
We're always trying to grow, so it's super fun. What would you say is your favorite event that you've gone to?
Oh, I thought about this one. So I have been on the social action team for a few years, and for a while, like I kept saying we need to have a bowling event, and then everybody kind of just like shrugged me off, like, no. And finally, like we scheduled it, and I think it was a pretty big success. We had a lot of people show up, and it was fun. And I kind of went, I told you, bowling's great. So
I think that was 2019.
It was a couple years ago, yeah.
And then COVID hit, so maybe we'll have to see if we can get that up and going again, because it is something different. And wintertime, it's inside. I know it's a little bit of a struggle to kind of get around the bowling leagues a little bit. Are you on a bowling league?
Well, I wasn't this past year because of COVID, but I was the year before. So
okay, so you're pretty good. Is that what you say? You know,
I'm decent.
Wipe off the shoulder a little bit.
I was really good back in high school. I was on the high school bowling team, if that tells you how cool I am. So
good old Nebraska bowling team.
Nebraska bowling team. Yep. There we go.
And are you still on the committee?
Yeah, I still go.
Okay. Yeah. Super cool. So when you got started in YPN, I know it was a few years ago, 4 years. But what would you say is that one event that really made the difference for you to say, you know what, YPN, that's a place to go to meet people, to be involved, to get out of the office or out of the house and go be around like-minded people? What was that event? Do you remember?
I think the thing that I really got my feet wet with YPN was I went to one of a new member social at, I think was when Rookies was still open. Okay. But I had a great time because everybody else there was also a new member, and like kind of iffy about, oh gosh, am I going to fit in? How's this going to work? You know, everybody else was kind of in the same situation that I was, and everybody was just so friendly and just wanted to know about you and your life and like, what do you do for a living? That kind of stuff. Everybody was just interested in each other. And I think that's what really attracted me to YPN.
And we do actually still do new member lunches. I think they got kind of switched from the social atmosphere to a lunch atmosphere, so it's a little bit more intimate. You're kind of for sure sitting by somebody talking to new people that you maybe haven't met before. But yeah, those are super awesome events that are a lot of fun. What would you say is the YPN event that's really made the biggest difference to you? So the new member mixer kind of got you started in YPN. The bowling was your favorite YPN event. Of all the events that we do, because we do so many events, what would you say is really the most that you get out of?
I would have to say that the event that I've gotten the most out of so far, I went to the Crossroads Summit like 2 years ago, and I just having that many people in one area that have the goal of like just improving themselves and, you know, improving the community that they live in. Like I was blown away and I loved it. So
Yeah. And we have the Crossroads Summit coming up here in a couple of months, I believe. I'm not sure on the exact date, but I do know it's coming up. And man, do we have some pretty exciting things going on. And you being on one of the committees, I'm sure you've heard a few of the murmurs here and there of what's going to be coming to it, what to expect at it. If you thought 2 years ago was great, which I was blown away 2 years ago by all the stuff that was in there. It was really cool, like you said. This year's is going to be even a little bit higher. Right?
Awesome.
So, yeah, I'm super excited for that. August 12th is when it is. I think the registration is for sure open right now. So jump on. You can get registered. Go to that. But basically, do you want to explain kind of what you got out of the Crossroads Summit when you went?
I think what I got most out of it was the inspiration piece. Like I don't remember like 100% like the words that were said as far as like the different breakouts sessions that I was in. But they all had a theme of like working to set goals and improve yourself. I know that one of them that I went in was like, you know, setting specific goals and how to work towards those and achieve them. So like, I'm not saying that I'm doing awesome at that and I reach them all every day or anything, but it was definitely something that I kind of at least keep in my mind now.
Absolutely. Like you said, the inspiration that you get from going to it is just next level. The motivation that you get from going to it is really next level. So it is something that's really cool. So anybody that is watching, listening, if you do get a chance, go to it and maybe we'll see you there. I know it doesn't work for everybody's schedule, but
I'm planning on it.
Good. Well, we are kind of it's crazy how fast the time goes. And we'll kind of touch base on a few more things here at the end, but one of the favorite segments that we have, and I know you've watched a few of these, is the rapid fire 20 questions.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready for it?
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so I'm going to get this pulled up right over here. You're just going to go ahead and answer everything as quickly as you can. One or the other. It's going to be kind of back and forth. We'll get through 20 questions, see how fast we can do it. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Number one, dog or cat?
Dog.
Netflix or Hulu?
Hulu.
Call or text?
Text.
Facebook or Twitter?
Facebook.
Ice cream or snow cone?
Ice cream.
Music or podcast?
Music.
Apple or Android?
Android.
High tech or low tech?
High tech.
Okay. Work hard or play hard?
Both.
There you go. Hamburger or taco?
Taco.
Online shopping or in store?
In store.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Iced or hot coffee?
Hot.
Save or spend?
Save.
TV or book?
What?
TV or book?
TV.
City or countryside?
City.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Show or movie?
Movie.
Really? Okay. Off the clock or morning mingle?
off the clock.
Okay, there we go. Rapid fire 20 questions with Tracey. You're a movie girl, but you prefer Hulu over Netflix, huh?
I do. I guess if I'm just around the house and like just doing like chores or something, I'll put on like a show and just let it play in the background because I hate having silence. But if I'm sitting down to like actually watch something, I'd rather watch a movie.
What's the best movie you've watched recently? It can be an old movie, it can be a new movie, but what's one of the best movies you've watched recently?
I sat down and watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High the other night, and it's a
Okay,
classic.
classic. Absolutely classic. What are you watching right now on Hulu?
One of my guilty pleasures is called Married at First Sight. It's a reality show, so and go ahead.
You go ahead. Explain it.
Basically, people go to like these psychological experts or whatever and say, find me a match, and they don't meet this person that they're gonna marry until they like meet them at the altar. So this reality show like follows them for like the first 2 months of their marriage to figure out like, did the experts do a good job? Are these people really good for each other? It's dramatic. It's dramatic and I love it. It's my guilty pleasure. So
I don't think I've heard of that one. It's interesting. I might have to check it out just to try an episode or two. That sounds right up my wife's alley. So 100%. I need to check that out. But
I recommend it. She'll like it.
It's an interesting take on it. I'm wondering kind of how that goes. But we are going to touch base on how to connect with you in just a second. But for everybody out there, next week, we are off on the 4th of July weekend, or for 4th of July weekend. So we won't be back here until July 9th at noon. We will have Megan Raposa. Megan is the founder of Sioux Falls Simplified and also works with the Argus Leader Media that you might follow on Facebook. It's going to be a super fun interview that I think all of you will really enjoy, but just keep in mind we won't be here next week, but we will be back here July 9th with Megan. So tune in for that. But Tracey, we are already almost at 30 minutes. How can people connect with you? I know we already talked about this a little bit earlier, but how can people, if they want to reach out to you, whether it's for marketing, whether it's for photography, whether it's just to see what kind of camera you have and prefer, how can people reach out to you and get a hold of you?
Oh, sure. So if you want to reach out to me about Align itself, you can contact me at our email, info@alignbusinesscourses.com, or you can find us on LinkedIn or Facebook. If you want to contact me personally, I have a LinkedIn and a Facebook page. I'm on there at least a couple of times a week, so maybe more than that, I'll admit it. But
maybe more than
that. So yeah, contact me on there.
Cool. And at work, do you guys have certain events that you're going to, or do you have any certain events coming up that maybe if other people are at these events, they can kind of come see you, see a booth, get to know more about you guys, anything like that?
At the moment, I don't have anything on the schedule. But contact me if you have any ideas or anything. If you have something coming up that you think we'd be great for, shoot me a line. I'm always up for a social event. So.
Cool. And if somebody is gonna go to a specific YPN event to meet you, to get to know you, what event is probably the most common one that you're going to? Is it the lunches, the socials, the coffees, the round tables, city connections? Any specific event that you more gravitate to?
I tend to do more of like the off the clock or the lunchtime events. Yeah. I'm not much of a morning person, so.
And that's the awesomeness of having 3 different times of the day throughout the month on different days, just because some people can't make mornings, some people can't make the afternoons. So right. It is really cool having those. So super awesome. Tracey, I just want to thank you so much for spending time with us. It's really cool to get to learn more about you as a person mainly, but then also about your work as well. I know I'm excited to get to talk to you in the next event coming up, which I think is a coffee social on July 8th. Don't take my word for that, but I think that's coming up. But Tracey, thank you so much for spending time with us and hanging out.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon.
All right. Bye.